Hello everyone, JG here, author of Blizzard, and welcome to part 19 of the Blizzard Audiobook series. If you'd like to follow along, there's a link to the book in the description. All that being said, let's get started. Act 18, Esther and Knuckles. Esther was trudging through the forest until she arrived at a cliff leading out to the ocean. The sky was still a dark gray, purple lightning was shot down, the ocean was dark, and the waves were rumbling. Esther looked around for the harbor, but she found none. The only thing she saw while looking around was a red echidna with powerful knuckles staring at the waves. She wondered if this was the person the kid soon said would help her, so she thought about speaking to him, but she was shy and didn't know what to say, or if he could be corrupted. Thankfully, the echidna spoke first. "Are you looking for something?" he asked, looking off at the sea. Me?" she asked awkwardly. "I'm looking for the harbor. It doesn't look like it's here, though, so I'll be on my way." "The harbor is here," the echidna said. "Look to your left." She did as he said, and she saw a very old, run-down, destroyed wooden harbor. "Are you looking for something in particular?" the echidna asked. "I'm looking for a crystal from the bottom of the sea, but I'm not very experienced at swimming, and I have no idea where it is." "Perhaps I can help you," said the echidna, turning around smiling. "My name is Knuckles. I'm pretty good at swimming." The two shook hands. Knuckles then recognized Esther, and he said, "You don't happen to be the Mistress of the Wind, are you?" "I am, but I do not go by that name any longer. Just call me Esther. Might I ask how you came by that name?" "I was sent by Shadow and Dr. Eggman, with whom we made a temporary retreating until the dragon is defeated, to check on your mission," Knuckles said accurately. "How's Carol doing? I'm aware that the mission depended on him." Esther shook her head. "Carol made some mistakes. Now his soul is in between the border of corruption or survival, along with the fate of the world. I was sent here to find a mystical crystal at the bottom of the sea that I was told could help him." "You know, I saw this strange thing underwater a while back. An unnatural bubble of air formed over a coral reef just by here. Maybe that has something to do with your crystal." "It's worth a shot," said Esther, looking at the water nervously. She had a fear of water and the ocean. Knuckles leaped into the water with ease and waiting for Esther. "Just jump in," Knuckles shouted in a friendly way. Esther stood at the edge of the water. The waves crashed against the wall with great strength. The lightning crashed in the air. Esther was nervous. Then she remembered, "Always pursue the way of justice, but more than that, mercy and love." The world was at stake. Esther had no other choice but to leap into the water with Knuckles. She closed her eyes, held her breath, and jumped. She heard a splash and felt the ice-cold water all over her fur. The gauntlets glowed neon aquamarine in the dark water, enabling Esther to see. She shot herself up to the top, meeting with Knuckles up there. "It was over that way," he said. "Just follow me and stick near the surface." Esther did as he commanded, and they started to swim in the rough, dark waves. Occasionally, she would look down and try to see what was under the water, but she could hardly see anything, due to the sun's great glare being blocked by the evil clouds. But she did see the faintest whisper of sand at the bottom, and an occasional plant or fish. As Esther and Knuckles searched for the crystal, Rex was zooming above the forest of pines, looking for the village where he stayed with Carol at the start of their journey. The breeze was freezing cold, lightning struck near him, and he was dreading having to repair his whole jet. But he had no time to lose. After a while of flying his glider, Rex finally caught sight of the village. He flew down to the gates of the city, and he tilted his rockets downward to start his ascent. Once he reached the ground, he saw Basil, the lizard guard, standing in front of the gates. "Rex!" the villagers shouted in welcome. "It's good to see you again." "Hi, Basil," Rex said. "Have you seen my jet? I need to repair it to help stop this crisis." "Anything to help," Basil said. "These clouds, lightning, beams, and creatures are crazy." "My jet?" Rex asked somewhat forcefully. "Follow me," the lizard smiled. Then he turned around and entered the village. Rex followed after him, and it didn't take long until he spotted his jet in the middle of the village, fully repaired. Rex stood there in awe. There was even a prepared one-way for him going through the middle of the village for him to take off. "What?" he said. "Did you do this?" "Me?" Basil said. No, though I was the one who organized it. You see, we villagers wanted to thank you guys one final time for saving our village. We thought about what to do, till I remembered how your jet crashed into the forest. I assume you're going to want to pick that back up, the jet being super expensive and all. So we gathered all the mechanics of the village, brought the jet here, and they all worked for 2 days trying to fix it. Eventually, they got it right, and we set up a runway here to prepare your return." Rex, without warning, hugged Basil tightly and said, "We are in your debt now." Then he let go and hopped in his jet. He turned on the engine and he looked down at Basil. "Thank you for everything!" Then he looked at the rest of the village. He saw nobody. "Where is everyone?" he yelled, trying to get his voice over the engine. "They're all hiding. They're scared of what's happening over in the city and how long it will take for them to arrive here." "As they should be," Rex replied. "Goodbye." But suddenly, out of the ground, a purple beam shot out from under the homes of the villagers. Many villagers emerged from the ruins, corrupted. Rex was going to hop out of the jet to help Basil fight them off, but the lizard stopped him. "Go now!" he yelled, "before it's too late!" "I will be back," Rex replied. Then he set his jet at full speed and blasted off to the harbor to pick up Esther, for he did not know that he would be finished that quickly when he told her to meet him at the cave. He had to hurry. The fate of that village was also now at stake. Meanwhile, Esther and Knuckles were searching through the endless, dark, cold ocean until they saw a few dim lights emerging from the seafloor. "I remember those lights," Knuckles exclaimed. "Swim down. I think we found what we're looking for." Esther did as Knuckles commanded, and soon enough they saw a great semicircle air bubble at the bottom of the ocean floor, like the top of a great building's dome with lights coming out of it. They entered in from the side, so as not to fall in, and inside, they were amazed. They saw a coral reef completely thriving inside the air bubble, inside which the air was as it is on the land, so Knuckles and Esther could breathe here perfectly. Bioluminescent plants were also thriving here, giving the reef natural light which enabled Esther and Knuckles to see dimly. On the outside, the water waves were rushing, and fish sometimes peered in to see what was going on. Knuckles and Esther walked on the wet sand in between the coral, keeping their eyes out for any crystals in this strange environment. The coral seemed to have already formed in a pathway leading to the center, in which there was an ancient stone. On top of it, there was a floating crystal which glowed light blue. "I think that's it," Esther said as she walked over to grab it. But before she could do anything, Knuckles blocked her with his powerful arms. Esther was mad. She thought he betrayed her, so she slammed her gauntlets together to get him out of the way. "Whoa there," Knuckles said. "I'm not looking for a fight. I just want to ask you a few questions." Esther lowered her gauntlets and they shut off. "First," he said, "can I trust you with this crystal? Will you do the right thing?" "Yeah?" Esther asked, confused. "Why wouldn't I?" "Do you care about this world?" Knuckles asked. "Yes," Esther replied. "Do you care about Rex?" "Yes." "What about Carol? Do you care about him?" Esther froze. She did not know how she felt about Carol, especially after his treatment of her after abusing the black ice. "Well?" Knuckles asked. "Carol wronged me in a great way," Esther said. "I suppose I wronged him first, though. He treated me with kindness and love when we first met, but when I did something according to my original mission, he lost it. I fear I started his redescent into the black ice, but after that he treated me very poorly and did some horrible things to me. I don't know if I can forgive him." "Look," Knuckles said, "I may not be the best thinker, but I do know this. If you don't forgive him, you're just going to end up injuring yourself. I know he wronged you really badly, but if he's anything like his master, he realizes what he's done and apologize. It's even more expedient that you forgive him, for the fate of the world is at stake. Can you do that for me?" "I can try," Esther said. "Good," Knuckles replied, moving out of the way. As Esther was about to grab the crystal, Knuckles shouted, "Be careful! You never know what could happen in these types of places." Esther, just to be safe, activated her gauntlets. Then she grabbed the crystal. It felt like it was being sustained in some magnetic force, so she had to yank it out. When she grabbed the crystal and stored it away, water started breaking in from the sides of the air bubble, flooding the coral reef. "Esther!" Knuckles shouted as the water rushed in. "Don't worry about me. I can handle myself. Just find a way to be reunited with Carol and Rex." Esther had no idea what to do. She froze with terror. The water was now at her chest and was sweeping everything away into the sea, including Knuckles. Esther took a deep breath as she was pushed into the waves. The air bubble then popped, and all water from the roof came crashing down. Esther was forced further down, getting darker and darker the farther she went. She was horrified and just wanted to curl up into a ball again as she began to drown. Then she realized something. She did not know what would happen if she changed into a gas underwater. It was worth a shot. Esther then grabbed her gauntlets and activated her gas form. Like a rocket, she shot to the surface of the water. She felt a sigh of relief as her invisible head stuck out of the water and she saw that lovely, dark, dreary sky again. She deactivated her invisibility and the current pulled her to a nearby island. She lay there, staring at the sky, catching her breath for a while until something caught her eye. A jet, flying unusually low. But this was not any jet. Esther recognized the logo. It was Rex's jet. He was flying around the harbor in search of Esther, and when he couldn't find her, he started searching the nearby islands. Esther was trying to find a way to get his attention, when she remembered she had a shining blue crystal in her pocket. She brought it out and waved it around, and Rex saw it. He landed near the LaPerm and exited his jet. "Glad to see our missions are accomplished," Rex said. "Yeah," Esther said, "though I had some help." "Help? Is this person the kitchen said you'd find? Who was it?" "This red echidna with powerful knuckles," Esther replied casually. "Red echidna, wait, Knuckles?" Esther nodded. "I can't believe it! The real-life Knuckles helped you find your crystal!" Rex shouted with glee. "Quickly, get in the jet. Tell me all about how your mission went. And we gotta hurry. Now the village where we first stayed is under attack." Esther did as Rex commanded with a newfound sense of urgency, and they zoomed through the sky, back to Carol's body.